Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. If you're looking at the North Carolina mountains and thinking it's just one giant identical real estate market, well, I'm here to bust that myth right out of the gate. Today, we're unpacking the complete 2026 Mountain Buyer's Guide. And we're drawing directly from the data and expertise of Teresa Overcash. She's the broker and owner at Realty One Group Results. Whether you're hunting for a quiet retirement spot, a luxury second home, or a high-yield rental property, treating this entire region like a single market is a really costly mistake. We're going to use some highly revealing data to show you exactly why.
Here is our quick roadmap for today based on the 2026 data. 1. The 5 distinct mountain markets. 2. 2026 mountain price bands. 3. Boone and STR regulations. 4. Navigating specialized mountain financing. 5. Lifestyle, seasons, and logistics. And 6. Finding your fit.
Okay, let's dive right into Section 1, the 5 distinct mountain markets.
So when we talk about the NC Mountains, we're actually looking at 5 fundamentally unique areas. Notice the stark contrast in the full-time resident percentage here? Down at the base of the mountains, Wilkesboro is a year-round working town, right? About 85% of residents live there full-time. But watch what happens as your elevation climbs. That number just plummets. All the way up at Beech Mountain at over 5,500 feet, only 15% live there full-time. Understanding this seasonal dynamic is absolutely step 1 to buying the right house in the right zip code.
Moving right along to Section 2, 2026 Mountain Price Bands.
A fascinating reality of mountain real estate is that prices vary far more between these distinct markets than they do within them. $265,000. Believe it or not, that is the median sale price for a home in Wilkes County in 2026. If you're a retiree relocating from, say, Charlotte or Raleigh, or if you just want that mountain proximity without the premium mountain price tag, well, this is where your dollar stretches the absolute furthest.
And this brilliantly illustrates the differences. You can clearly see the steep prestige premium attached to luxury tourism hubs like Blowing Rock and Banner Elk. The luxury tier there quickly leaps over the $2.8 million mark. But contrast that with Beech Mountain. Despite being a resort town, its older 1970s A-frame cabins offer a much more accessible entry point at around $285,000. You really have to calibrate your budget to the specific town, not just the general region.
All right, Section 3, Boone and STR regulations.
Now, if you're an investor, this part is absolutely crucial. Lynn Mason, the chair of the Watauga County Board of Commissioners, recently stated, and I quote, "Our full-time residents deserve housing supply that is not consumed by weekend rentals. We will continue tightening the ordinance as needed." This perfectly captures the local government's perspective right now. For any buyer, this is a clear signal. Regulatory pressure is very real, and you must model conservative rental income assumptions.
Looking at the 2026 rules for Boone, the absolute biggest takeaway is the zoning freeze. Since 2023, new short-term rentals have been completely prohibited in R1 residential zones. If a property is currently an STR in an R1 zone, it's grandfathered only for the current owner. Let me be totally clear, if you buy it today, you absolutely cannot legally operate it on Airbnb. Verifying parcel-specific zoning before offering is simply non-negotiable.
Next up, Section 4. Navigating specialized mountain financing.
Just as the towns differ, how you pay for a home is highly specialized based on your strategy. So the crucial point here is understanding the tool called the DSCR loan. That stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio. This allows out-of-state investors to qualify based on the property's projected rental income divided by its monthly expenses, known as PITI, or principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. It completely bypasses your personal income documentation. This has literally reshaped investing in areas like Boone and Banner Elk.
Your buyer profile directly dictates your required down payment. If you're moving full-time to a rural area like Wilkes County, you might actually qualify for a USDA loan, which requires zero money down. That's huge. But if you're leveraging that DSCR loan for a short-term rental investment, well, you're looking at a strict 20 to 25% down payment. Basically, your strategy dictates your loan.
Which brings us to Section 5, Lifestyle, Seasons, and Logistics.
Many buyers coming up from the coast or the deep south are often in for a bit of a rude awakening when they discover the mountains actually have 4 very distinct, very real seasons. It brings up this incredibly common question. Do you really need a 4-wheel drive vehicle in the NC Mountains? Now, what's really interesting about this comparison is that the answer entirely depends on your elevation. Over in Wilkes County, sitting under 3,000 feet, the winters are quite mild. You rarely, if ever, need four-wheel drive. But up on Beech Mountain, above 4,500 feet, they get pounded with 40 to 90 inches of annual snow. Road closures are just a fact of life up there. Not only is four-wheel drive strictly required, you'll often need snow chains literally just to get to your own driveway.
Finally, Section 6, Finding Your Fit.
The ultimate goal of all this data we've covered is matching your life first and letting the house follow. If you're a value-conscious retiree, Wilkes County's lower prices and mild weather make it a perfect fit. Remote working families needing a year-round economy, they usually target Boone. Chasing that ski-in slope access? You're definitely heading up to Beech Mountain. And for curated full-time luxury, Blowing Rock is exactly where you'll land. The data naturally leads different buyers to completely different counties.
Which leaves us with one final, very important thought. Are you ready to find the life first and let the house follow? It's a huge region with massive variables in zoning, pricing, and weather. Please, don't guess on a six-figure investment. Use the 2026 data we unpacked today, reach out to Teresa Overcash at 336-262-3111 for a personalized regional consultation, and ensure your mountain home is exactly the right fit. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy house hunting.